Have you ever wondered how an ancient civilization created one of the most fascinating pantheons of gods in history? Stay with us until the end of this story to uncover the mysteries of the Egyptian gods. Welcome to the incredible world of Egyptian mythology, where gods and goddesses not only ruled the heavens and the earth, but also the hearts and minds of the Egyptian people. Imagine walking along the banks of the majestic Nile River, surrounded by imposing temples and colossal statues. Here, in the land of the pharaohs, mythology was more than just stories. It was the very essence of everyday life. The ancient Egyptians believed that every aspect of the world around them was under the influence of powerful gods. From the sunrise commanded by the brilliant Ra to the funerary rites overseen by the mysterious Anubis, each deity played a crucial role. And it doesn't stop there. The tales of epic battles between Horus and Seth, the resurrection of Osiris, and the infinite wisdom of Thoth all wove together to form the rich tapestry that kept the soul of Egypt alive. If you're fascinated by these stories and want to learn more about each of these gods and their impact on Egyptian life, subscribe to the channel and follow all the episodes of this series. Don't miss the chance to delve even deeper into Egyptian mythology and explore how these deities shaped one of history's most intriguing civilizations. Subscribe now and stay with us until the end of this epic journey. Ra, the sun god. We begin our journey with Ra, the sun god, the supreme creator and the life force that illuminated Egypt. Imagine the sky at dawn, when the first rays of sunlight pierce through the clouds and warm the earth. For the Egyptians, this magical moment was the work of Ra, sailing his solar boat across the sky. Ra was seen as the chief deity of Egyptian mythology, associated with life, warmth, and growth. In his hands, he held the power to give life to everything that existed. But his journey was not easy. Every night, Ra descended into the underworld, facing dangerous serpents and forces of chaos, fighting to ensure the sun's rebirth each dawn. This eternal battle symbolized the struggle between order and chaos, light and darkness. The pharaohs considered the children of Ra were seen as his representatives on earth. Magnificent temples, such as the Temple of Karnak, were built in his honor, where priests performed daily rituals to ensure his strength and protection. Ra's importance was so great that he was combined with other gods over time, forming deities like Amun-Ra, merging Ra's power with Amun, the god of the wind. This fusion symbolized Ra's supremacy and his ability to encompass other divine aspects. Let's move on to the next chapter of our story, where we will meet Anubis, the guardian of the dead and master of mummification. Anubis, the guardian of the dead. Now we turn to Anubis, the enigmatic god with the head of a jackal who presided over funerary rites and mummification. Anubis was essential in the transition between life and death, guiding souls to the afterlife and ensuring they were properly prepared for the eternal journey. In the complex Egyptian cosmology, Anubis played a crucial role. He was responsible for embalming the bodies, ensuring they were preserved for the afterlife. Imagine the ancient priests following the sacred rituals of mummification, each step carefully dictated by the traditions associated with Anubis. But his role didn't end there. Anubis was also the guardian of tombs, protecting them from robbers and evil forces. In myths, he is frequently depicted as the guide of souls, leading the dead through the perilous passages of Duat, the realm of the dead. One of the most iconic scenes in Egyptian mythology is the Judgment of Souls, where Anubis weighs the heart of the deceased against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. If the heart was lighter than the feather, the soul was free to enter paradise. Otherwise, it was devoured by Ammit, the soul devourer. This symbolic act highlighted the importance of justice and truth in both life and death. let's move on to discover more about Horus, the falcon god and protector of the pharaohs. Horus, the falcon god. Now we turn to Horus, the mighty falcon god, symbolizing the sky, war, and royalty. Horus is often depicted as a man with the head of a falcon, wearing the double crown of Upper and Lower Egypt, signifying his supreme authority over the entire land. Horus is perhaps best known for his epic battles against his uncle Seth, the god of chaos. These conflicts symbolized the eternal struggle between order and chaos, good and evil. One of the most well-known stories is of Horus avenging his father Osiris's death by defeating Seth and claiming his rightful place on the throne of Egypt. The pharaohs were seen as the living embodiment of Horus on earth, reinforcing their divine right to rule. They adopted the name of Horus as a sacred title, highlighting their role as leaders and protectors of the Egyptian people. Horus also played an important role in the afterlife. He was often depicted in funerary scenes, helping the souls of pharaohs ascend to the sky and join Osiris in the afterlife. His combat skills and penetrating falcon gaze symbolized vigilance and protection, ensuring that divine order was maintained. As we move forward, let's explore the figure of Seth, the god of chaos and Horus's rival, and gain a deeper understanding of the conflicts that shaped Egyptian mythology. Seth, the god of chaos. We now turn to Seth, the god of chaos, storms, and war. With the head of a mythical creature, Seth was one of the most complex and controversial deities in Egyptian mythology. Representing the desert, disorder, and violence, Seth was both feared and respected. Seth is most infamously known for his role in the betrayal and murder of his brother Osiris. Driven by jealousy and ambition, Seth planned and executed Osiris's murder, dismembering his body and scattering the pieces throughout Egypt. This vile act cast a shadow of chaos over the realm, which was only restored through the intervention of Horus and Isis, Osiris's wife. However, Seth was not purely malevolent. He also played positive roles, such as defending Ra against the chaos serpent, Apophis, during the sun god's nightly journey through the underworld. This duality of Seth represented the unpredictable and ambivalent nature of chaos, which could both destroy and protect. The conflicts between Seth and Horus, which culminated in several battles for the throne of Egypt, symbolized the ongoing struggle between order and disorder. Although Seth was eventually defeated by Horus, his continued presence in mythology showed that chaos was an inevitable and necessary force for maintaining cosmic balance. Now, we leave Seth behind and turn to Osiris, the god of the underworld, whose death and resurrection form the core of many Egyptian beliefs about the afterlife. Osiris, the lord of the underworld. Now we turn to Osiris, the benevolent god of the underworld and resurrection. Osiris is often depicted as a mummified pharaoh with green skin symbolizing renewal and vegetation. He represents the afterlife and the eternal renewal of nature. Osiris was one of the earliest and most important gods in Egyptian mythology. According to legend, he was a just and wise king who ruled Egypt with his wife, Isis. His death at the hands of his envious brother, Seth, marked one of the most tragic and significant moments in Egyptian mythology. Seth dismembered Osiris's body and scattered the pieces throughout Egypt. Isis, with the help of her sister Nephthys and Anubis, gathered the pieces and restored Osiris to life, but he came to rule the underworld as the judge of the dead. Osiris became the god who presided over the judgment of souls in the afterlife. In the Hall of Two Truths, he weighed the hearts of the deceased against the feather of Ma'at, the goddess of truth and justice. Those whose hearts were light and pure were admitted to paradise, while the impure were devoured by Ammit. The myth of Osiris was central to Egyptian beliefs about death and resurrection. His cycle of death and rebirth represented the hope of eternal life and the renewal of nature, profoundly influencing funerary rituals and religious practices. Let's now continue with Thoth, the god of knowledge and writing, whose infinite wisdom contributed to Egyptian civilization and beyond. Thoth, the god of knowledge. We now turn to Thoth, the god of knowledge, writing, and wisdom. Depicted as a man with the head of an ibis or a baboon, Thoth was the scribe of the gods and the guardian of all divine and human knowledge. Thoth was revered as the inventor of writing and the creator of hieroglyphs, allowing knowledge to be recorded and passed down through generations. He was also the god of mathematics, science, and magic, possessing an unparalleled intellect that encompassed all areas of knowledge. In Egyptian myths, Thoth played the role of mediator and advisor. He was often called upon to resolve disputes among the gods using his wisdom and impartiality. A notable example is his intervention in the battles between Horus and Seth, where Thoth helped bring balance and justice. Additionally, Thoth had a crucial role in funerary rituals. He was responsible for recording the judgments of souls in the Hall of Two Truths, noting the results of the heart-weighing performed by Anubis and Osiris. Thoth ensured that the process was fair and accurate, guaranteeing that each soul received its deserved fate. Thoth's influence extended beyond Egypt's borders. He was associated with the Greek Hermes, known as Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who combined the qualities of both gods and was considered the source of esoteric and alchemical knowledge. Now let's continue to explore the complex relationships and intense conflicts among these gods, which shaped Egyptian mythology in such a profound and enduring way. Relationships and conflicts among the gods. The relationships and conflicts among the Egyptian gods form the backbone of ancient Egyptian mythology, weaving a rich tapestry of rivalries, alliances, and betrayals. One of the most notable conflicts was between Horus and Seth. After the death of Osiris, Horus, his son, challenged Seth for the right to rule Egypt. These epic battles were both physical and magical, involving disputes that lasted for years. Each victory and defeat had deep symbolic implications, representing the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Eventually, Horus triumphed, establishing order and justice in the realm, while Seth was exiled to govern the deserts. But not all relationships were conflictual. The relationship between Osiris and Isis, for example, was one of devotion and love. Isis not only resurrected Osiris with her powerful magic, but also protected and raised Horus, ensuring he grew strong enough to avenge his father. Isis's dedication symbolizes the strength of love and motherhood in Egyptian mythology. Another interesting relationship is between Thoth and Maat, the goddess of truth and justice. Thoth, as the god of wisdom, bore the feather of Maat, used to weigh the hearts of the deceased. Together, they ensured that cosmic order and justice were maintained in the judgment of souls. These interactions among the gods not only created compelling narratives, but also reflected fundamental values of Egyptian society, such as the importance of justice, the struggle between order and chaos, and the belief in the afterlife. Now let's explore how these gods and their stories influenced the daily lives of the Egyptians, shaping their religious and cultural practices. Mythology in daily Egyptian life. Egyptian mythology permeated every aspect of the daily life of the ancient Egyptians. From daily rituals to grand ceremonies, the presence of the gods was constant and fundamental. Temples were the center of religious and social life. There, priests performed elaborate rituals to honor the gods, ensure the fertility of crops, and protect the people from disasters. Ra, for example, was revered in temples such as Heliopolis, where the sunrise was celebrated daily as a divine rebirth. Beliefs about the afterlife profoundly influenced funerary rituals. The Egyptians believed that to achieve eternal life, the body needed to be preserved and specific rituals had to be followed. Anubis, with his association with mummification, was invoked during the embalming process, while Osiris symbolized the promise of a glorious resurrection. Mythology also guided morality and behavior. The concept of Mayat, truth, justice, and order, was central. The Egyptians sought to live in harmony with these principles, believing that this would ensure a safe passage to the afterlife. The Hall of Two Truths, where hearts were weighed against the feather of Ma'at, reinforced the importance of living a just and true life. Along the banks of the Nile, religious festivals celebrated the cycles of nature and the deeds of the gods. The Opet festival, for example, was a grand celebration honoring Amun-Ra and reinforcing the connection between the gods and the pharaoh, considered the intermediary between the divine and mortals. At home, families made offerings and performed small rituals to gain the favor of the gods. Amulets and talismans were used for protection and good luck, often depicting gods like Horus or Thoth. These sacred items were believed to offer divine protection and positively influence individuals' destinies. We have now understood how Egyptian mythology was intertwined with daily life, from the simplest acts to the grandest ceremonies. Let's conclude our journey with a reflection on the enduring legacy of these beliefs and how they continue to fascinate and inspire to this day. After exploring the lives and deeds of these fascinating gods, it's impossible not to be impressed by the depth and richness of Egyptian mythology. Ra, with his solar power, symbolizing creation and daily renewal. Anubis, the guardian of the dead, ensuring a safe passage to the afterlife. Horus, the falcon god, protector of the pharaohs and symbol of royalty and power. Seth, the god of chaos, challenging order and confronting his rivals. Osiris, with his story of death and resurrection, representing hope and the continuity of life. Thoth, the master of knowledge and writing, whose wisdom permeated all aspects of Egyptian society. These gods were not just distant figures, but living entities that influenced every aspect of Egyptian life, from governance and justice to religious practices and morality. Their stories of struggle, love, betrayal, and redemption mirrored human experiences, offering a deeper sense of life and death. The legacy of Egyptian mythology continues to fascinate and inspire us today. Its stories and symbols have influenced the art, literature, and culture of countless subsequent civilizations. Museums around the world display artifacts and temples from ancient Egypt, allowing people of all ages and backgrounds to connect with this distant past, which remains so present in our collective imagination. As we reflect on these gods and their narratives, we realize that Egyptian mythology was not just a collection of tales, but a profound belief system that guided one of the most enduring and influential civilizations in human history. And so, we conclude our journey through the Egyptian Pantheon, carrying with us a new understanding and appreciation for the rich tapestry of Egyptian mythology.